All right, guys, today we're here in San Jose. We're going to be working on a tankless water heater. Every tankless needs to be flushed at least once a year, and it depends on how much hardness is in the water. It may be twice a year, but on this one they hadn't flushed it in about 5 years, so we're taking a chance on flushing this one. Sometimes I checked inside the heat exchanger. Sometimes if you see a lot of redness, that means that you don't want to flush it because there's a lot of calcium built up on it, but this one seemed to be okay. We'll take a couple pictures so you can see the inside, but we're gonna be flushing the tankless. Mostly when I set up the camera, once it just starts recording, it's just gonna sit there because it takes a while, 45 minutes for that thing to flush. So hopefully you like it. All right, we're set up inside the attic. This is what we're gonna be using. I already filled up the tank with 1 gallon of water, and you get the solution that comes with it. You can also use vinegar. I highly recommend using vinegar, possible, but this is designed for it. So in here, you just pour the whole thing in there. This is a brand new kit, so the pump is still inside this box. Okay. This quart uses, this is 1 quart, 1 gallon of water. We're going to be connecting this guy. And placing it inside there. So I'm going to get it all set up and start flushing it. You have to turn off the unit, turn off the gas, disconnect the power, and then we're going to start flushing it. And you have to let it run for about an hour. So we're just going to I'm just going to record the whole time so you guys can see the process. But there is a filter in here that always gets forgotten to clean. So I'm going to disconnect it now and clean that. That's always going to be a section that people forget. It has a little screen in here. You can do this more often, every month, because you just get some debris in there. So most of the time you can, just do it by hand. It's gonna drop a little bit of water. Always have a little rag underneath it. It's not gonna be much, but this little screen, it looks fairly clean, so we're gonna put it back together. Okay, I'm going to finish connecting it all up. Turn on the pump and got this thing flowing through. We're going to let it sit for about 45 minutes. Okay. Meanwhile, I'm going to take off the cover, the front, make sure the inside's okay, and make sure that the heat exchanger has no stress marks. And I want to show you from that. Okay. All right, we're back. It's been about 45 minutes, a little over. Doesn't do any harm to go over. You can run it for an hour. Sometimes if it hasn't been done in a long time, we tell them run it for an hour and a half. The water inside here is very blue, so that means there was a lot of calcium inside there. So I'm going to disconnect it now. Turn the power off. turn off the cold here and turn off the hot. We're going to disconnect this. A little bit of water comes out. You always want to stick this inside the bucket. So I have a rag down. Okay, put this inside the bucket. And the next step, we're going to get a hose all the way to the outside, and we're going to connect it on to the hot side. We do this to flush out all that liquid, the vinegar. If it is vinegar, we do this on the hot side. All right, so we're all done with the tankless. Everything's back on. Well, while I was flushing the tankless, I was busy somewhere else. So they were having a problem that because they have a tankless and they have PEX piping, you can see that over there, they weren't getting hot water inside where the furthest fixture, which is the kitchen. So I started saying, okay, well, we can put in a pump. And this is what we did. So while I was busy flushing the tankless, I installed this guy. So there's a pump, there's a little button right here that turns this guy on. And you can't really hear it, but now I turned on the pump and I had to put this pump down here, this pump right here. And I had to put in that connection back there and there, but it wasn't so hard. It took us about an hour, 45 minutes. So it's something you can do. Put in a pump underneath the furthest fixture if you're waiting a long time. Now, when you turn on the hot water, it's nice and hot. All right. Hopefully you guys liked the video. Comment, and don't forget to call me if you guys need plumbing work. Thanks.